I'm excited about getting towards the end of the bodice of this. I've done the back side of the bodice, which is here. This is the back side of the bodice, and now I'm joining it to the chain that I started with at the bottom. So I'm going from the top to the bottom, and this is the side I have been building from. This is the back. So this is called my working side for the join as you go. And all you do to join as you go, you will have a little bit of a seam that will pull out a tiny little bit, but you can never see it. So I wouldn't worry about it. So anyhow, this is how you fold it in half and join the front to the back. Now this is my working side. This is the side I need to add one more row on. But while I'm adding one more row, I'm going to join it to this side. That's the join as you go. So you always, in the join as you go, you always do the working side first, the side that needs one more row. This is the end, the finished, the final row of the back side. So it's just a half double crochet in the front loop. There's no change in the stitches, and then you go to the corresponding loop, and you're going to join in the front loop of that with a slip stitch. So you just do a slip stitch, and there's your join. Now, always, the thing to always remember, sorry, this is a little bit loose. Let me try this again. So the thing to remember is which is your working side. It's kind of too hard to work from that side anyhow. This is the side you're doing your final row on. You always do that one first before slip stitching to the other side. So we're just going to go in the very next stitch. We're going to front loop half double crochet, and we go to the corresponding stitch. See, this one's already used. This one's, so the corresponding stitch, and this would be the front loop. You could consider this the front loop. I've noticed that either loop you go through, it will look the same. So this is just the one I already started going through, which is a front loop to me. So this is the one I'm going to slip stitch it to. And then again, this is my working side, yarn over, half double crochet in the front loop, and then find the corresponding stitch on the other side, which is right here, and slip stitch to that side. Again, let's yarn over, front loop, half double crochet, and then slip stitch to the corresponding stitch on the other side. This is why you needed to check and have the same amount of stitches when you joined up. And then slip stitch, and you just continue on, and I will meet you down here. Okay, now we're almost to the bottom. I'll show you. Okay, here's what I just made. And it looks a little bumpy, it looks a little higher bumped up than this. But what happens is it just pulls out and you hardly see a seam, but you know, there is an inside and outside of this if you want it. I got a big yarn spool, the 14-ounce Lily & Cream spool, and so it's nice not to have to cut my yarn. Now see, I'm still on the working side here. I made a half double crochet, and then I'm going to go over to the corresponding and try and get this very precise. And so now look here, there's going to be, I work these first, but there's 2 stitches here. Here's this stitch, and then there's our turning chain, and then look, there's 2 stitches here. We do want to try and get into both loops if we can. It'll be okay if we don't at the very end. That's okay if we don't. This is the only time it doesn't matter a lot. Okay, so let's just do my half double crochet front loop on my working side, slip stitch to the side I'm joining, to the front side, and then half double crochet. See, I'm going to go in the last 2 loops just like I crocheted every row. So this working side row, the back, this is the final row of the back. I'm just working it at the same time. It's really not, I'm really not doing anything any different. So there I did my half double crochet, but it just wasn't in the front loop, so the bottom doesn't pull apart. And then I just need to find my corresponding one here. And I want to try and pull through 2 loops if I can, but just do the best you can. Just make it look nice and neat and flat is the whole idea behind this one. So I'm struggling a little bit. Okay, there's the stitch. So I'm going to go into both of those to slip stitch it. Now you might have one way or the other because you would have been adding on down here. So that's up to you. If you want to add on your stitch and then catch this turning chain, I will do that. That's just it won't matter if you don't, but I just like it better. It just turns out nicer to me. So I'm gonna, just as I'm gonna try and catch this stitch over here to see if I can get them to line up a little bit better. Well, no, they look kind of perfect. Look at this when you fold it in half. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm an amateur. So then, now, around the bottom edge, we're going to be doing a double crochet for every row. So that's for, see between here and here, there's 2 rows. But we got to chain 3 because that's considered our first double crochet. And then we want to catch 2 stitches and go around the whole thing with a double crochet. So a double crochet per row will work just fine. It'll be nice and stretchy. If you just put a single crochet in, it's not going to have the stretch at the bottom, and we want a little bit of structure. But just make sure and catch 2, oops, it's a double crochet, and catch 2, I did half double crochet, sorry about that. Let's get this. So I always like it when someone shows me this part. So catch 2 strands. So there's 2, see between these, this is a front loop, this is a back loop sticking out, and this is a back loop sticking out. So there's 2, there needs to be 2 double crochets in here. So just find 2 stitches and space them apart, but catch 2 strands. So this one's easy to see. Right here's 1. And then look, the other one is kind of right there, right here. So that's 2 per row, 2 double crochets per row. Let's just do 1 more. And so between here and here is 2. I know this is focusing and not focusing. This isn't, we do need this nice and neat. You've done a great job getting to this point because your ends, you know, your ends are going to be nice and neat. But look here. So we've got 2 we need to put in here. So we'll put it here and then maybe here. But you need to catch 2 strands. You know, just try and be consistent. You'll kind of get in the rhythm of it, and where you can kind of see what each 2 rows look like. So here we are, 2 rows, and we need 2 double crochets. We'll put 1 here, and see, I'm just trying to be consistent. This part is not the end of the world. It just is it's a really nice it's just a really nice pattern to do it this way. It just lightens up the whole thing. Now this is already done. This one's already done. This has been a model, but this is exactly how the bottom. So you can also just watch the videos from the bottom, from the 3rd video of the sleeves. And it's the same exact thing. You just go around the sleeves with a double crochet, and then it shows you how to do the scallops. So that's an excellent video. It will work exactly the same for the bottom. And then I'm going to go around the whole bottom with a double crochet, and that's how you do a join as you go. So Boy, I don't have anything to write with. So that's the join as you go, and I will continue on and go over the scallops one more time in the next video.